Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to deconstruct a promo video for an SEO bootcamp by WS Cube Tech. We're going to look at what they promise, who they're targeting, and what they say makes their program special, all based on what they've put out there. So, let's jump right in. So, they kick things off with a question that, let's be honest, a lot of us in the digital space have asked ourselves. A career in SEO? It's a huge goal, right? But getting there, that path can be a little blurry. This question right here, it's the perfect setup for the problem they're about to say they can fix. And bam, here's the core challenge they're zeroing in on. The issue, they say, isn't a shortage of information or theory out there. No, it's about the struggle to find training that gives you real, hands-on experience. You know, the kind that actually gets you ready for a real job. All right, so let's dig a little deeper into this problem they're talking about. They've got a name for it, the SEO learning gap. And honestly, this idea is key to understanding what they're offering. And there it is, the learning gap. This is the big problem WS Cube Tech says their bootcamp is designed to solve. It's that huge chasm, between wanting to learn SEO and finding a program that actually connects the dots between textbook theory and what you do in the real world. Okay, so we've got the problem. Now, what's their solution? Well, they don't just call it a course. They frame it as a career-transforming bootcamp, one that's built specifically to fill that learning gap we were just looking at. And they're not messing around. They pitch this as a 2-month, power-packed program. That phrase, power-packed, tells you everything. It's meant to be intense, no fluff, all in, for people who are serious about making a big career move and making it happen quickly. Now, this is really interesting. Who is this for? Well, take a look. Their audience is surprisingly broad. They're going after total beginners, freshers, as they call them, but also seasoned SEO professionals, people hunting for jobs, freelancers, even bloggers. That's a pretty ambitious group to cater to all at once. And right here, they basically draw a line in the sand. On one side, you have your regular SEO course. On the other, real industry experience. The message is pretty clear, right? They're saying, we're not just going to give you the textbook stuff. We're going to show you how SEO actually works out in the wild. Okay, so real industry experience sounds great, but what does that actually mean? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of the curriculum they've laid out. What are you actually going to learn? What are you going to do? Wow, okay. The curriculum they show is pretty comprehensive. I mean, it covers the big three, of course, on-page, off-page, and technical SEO. But then it gets really specific, diving into e-commerce, local SEO, service sites, even blogs. It really seems like they're trying to create SEO experts who can handle just about any kind of client right out of the gate. And then there's this number, 10 plus. That's the number of industry tools they promise you'll get to use hands-on. This isn't a small detail, it's a massive part of that practical experience promise they keep making. And here's a look at what some of those tools are. We're not just talking about a quick overview here. They're stressing practical implementation. You've got the essentials like Google Analytics and Search Console, but also heavy hitters like Screaming Frog and Ubersuggest. It's all about actually using the tools, not just learning what they do. Here's another thing that caught my eye. They promise to dissect case studies from big brands like Myntra. The idea is pretty smart, right? You get to peek behind the curtain at what works for the giants and then figure out how to apply those winning strategies yourself. All right, so you go through all this training. What's the payoff? What's the transformation they're promising? Let's talk about the skills and the real-world outcomes they say you can walk away with. They map it out as a simple 3-step journey. Step 1, you gain the practical skills. Step 2, you build a problem-solving mindset. And step 3, the big one, you get results. We're talking jobs, freelance clients, the whole shebang. And this is a really important point they make. It's not just about learning a bunch of technical tasks. They keep coming back to this idea of the right mindset. It's about learning to think strategically so you can actually build a career, not just check off a list of SEO to-dos. Okay, so if all of this sounds interesting, how do you actually get started? The source material gets right down to the practical details, how to sign up and what the schedule looks like. First off, there's a specific start date, January 10th. So, this isn't one of those self-paced start whenever courses. Putting a date on it creates a real sense of urgency, a clear call to action. And this breaks down the logistics really nicely. The timing, 9 to 11 p.m., is a big deal. It's clearly meant for people who are already in school or have a day job. And they also make a point to mention dedicated doubt sessions, which is always a good sign for support. And as for enrolling, they keep it super simple. 2 ways to do it. You can click a link and fill out your info, or you can just pick up the phone and call to reserve your seat. Nice and straightforward. So at the end of it all, after they've laid out the problem, their solution, what's in the course, and how to join, they leave you with this question. It's a good one too. They're essentially asking you to look at your own career path and decide, is this kind of practical, hands-on experience the thing you've been missing?